Hello, dear students. Today we are going to do a very beautiful poem from your book, Hornbill. The name of the poem is Voice of the Rain by Walt Whitman. Before we proceed further, let's read something about our poet. Born in Huntington on Long Island as a child, through much of his career he resided in Brooklyn. At age 11, he left formal schooling to go to work. Later, Whitman worked as a journalist, a teacher, and a government clerk. Whitman's major poetry collection, Leaves of Grass, was first published in 1855 with his own money, and he became well known. The work was an attempt at reaching out to the common persons with an American epic. He continued expanding and revising it until his death in 1892. During the American Civil War, he went to Washington, D.C. and worked in hospitals caring for the wounded. His poetry often focused on both loss and healing. Two of his well-known poems, O Captain, My Captain, and When Lilacs Last in the Dookyard Bloomed, were written on the death of Abraham Lincoln. After a stroke towards the end of his life, Whitman moved to Camden, New Jersey, where his health further declined. When he died at the age 72, his funeral was a public event. Now let me give you a brief introduction of the poem. This poem, The Voice of the Rain, is written by Walt Whitman. It is a conversation between the poet and the rain. The rain explains its internal journey in its birthplace, that is, the earth, to the poet. Let's read the text of the poem. It goes something like this. And who art thou? Said I to the soft falling shower, which, strange to tell, gave me an answer as here translated. I am the poem of the earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea, upward to heaven, whence vaguely formed, altogether changed, and yet the same. I descend to lave the draughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe, and all that in them, without me, were seeds only, latent, unborn. And forever by day and night, I give back life to my own origin, and make pure and beautify it. For song, issuing from its birthplace, after fulfillment, wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. The Voice of the Rain is a short, free verse poem. Free verse means the poem does not follow any rhyming scheme. There is no rhyming scheme used in the poem, that's why it is a free verse poem. It's written by American poet Walt Whitman. It was originally published in a periodical called Outing in 1885. It was later reprinted in Leaves of Grass. So first publication of the poem was in an American periodical named Outings in 1885, and later on it was reprinted in Leaves of Grass, which was Whitman's most celebrated collection of verse. In The Voice of the Rain, the speaker listens to the personified figure of the rain. So this is really important because in the poem, the poet is going to talk to rain as if rain is a person. Rain has been personified. Or rain likened itself to poetry, describing each stage of the water cycle. So what the poem tells us is water cycle. The poem pays homage to the restorative power of the natural world and claims that poetry nourishes humanity just as rain nourishes the earth. Let's go to the explanation of the poem stanza-wise. The first line goes like this, and who art thou? art means are, who are, and thou means you. The poet asks, who are you? Said I. I here is the poet. So the poet asks to the soft falling shower, means it was drizzling. The poet asks the drizzling going on that who are you? Which, strange to tell, and strangely, the poem gave the author, the poet, an answer, and here it has been translated by the poet in our language. So that means he personified rain, looked at it as a person, and that person gave the poet an answer, which here is translated in the language by the poet. The rain says, I am the poem of the earth. The rain is talking here now. Earlier I was used for the poet, and now here I is used for rain. The rain says, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal. Eternal means forever, that never comes to an end. Eternal I rise. I rise means I go upwards. Impalpable. Impalpable, which cannot be seen. Out of the land and the bottomless seas. So here the poet has personified rain, and rain is talking to the poet and gives him an answer when it was asked that who are you? The rain said, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. Eternal, forever, continuously in a never-ending cycle, I rise impalpable. That means in a never-ending process, the rain rises, moves upwards towards heaven in an impalpable shape, in a shape that cannot be seen or touched, out of the land and the bottomless sea. In the above lines, the poet asked the soft falling shower, who are you? To which the rain replied in a strange to state manner. Why is it strange? Because otherwise we cannot hear rain talking. In a strange to state manner, the rain said that it was the poem of the earth, and it rose continuously from land and bottomless ocean in the form of vapors. So when we say that the rain rises impalpable, we have just begun the explanation of water cycle. As water rises upwards in the form of vapors, so rain says that my journey starts from the bottomless sea and out of the land in the form of vapors which rise above towards the sky. Upwards to heaven. Heaven means upwards towards the sky. Whence means where. So the poet says that the rain goes upwards in the form of vapors towards the heaven, towards the sky, vaguely formed. Vaguely formed means in a shape that is not specific, in a shape that is not concrete, in a vague form, in a shapeless form, altogether changed, because here the form, the shape of rain has changed totally. From water it has changed into vapors, and yet the same. And how can it be altogether changed and yet the same? It is that the rain takes the water from the bottomless seas and lands and change its shape into water vapors. But yet it is the same, because water vapors are what? Water vapors are water only. Water vapors carry water upwards. So it is ultimately water itself. So rain also says that I descend. I descend means I come down. To lave. To lave means to wash away. It comes down. Rain says that I come down to wash away the draughts. Draughts means the scarcity of water. Atomies, smallest of the particles and dust layers of the globe. So rain says when it comes down, it washes away all the draughts and it spreads greenery all around. It washes away the smallest of the particles and all the dust layers of the globe. And all that in them without me were seeds only. If there is no rain, then the seeds will remain seeds only. They will never germinate. They will never sprout into beautiful plants and flowers. So that is why rain says that I come down again in the form of rain. So the cycle of water has been described here, that water rises up towards the skies and heavens in the shape of water vapor, and when it goes upwards it takes a vague form. In the sky it takes the vague form of clouds, because clouds are shapeless. So therefore it takes a vague form in the clouds, in the sky, that is the form of clouds, where it is altogether changed. That means it changes altogether from the shape of water, it changes its form into clouds, but yet it is still the same. So we say that whether there are water vapors or whether it's clouds, basically they are all same because they all carry water. So after that, when it goes upwards towards heaven in the shape of vapors and reach skies and take the form of clouds, it comes down again to wash away the drops, the smallest of the atoms, particles, and dust layers of the globes, and all that without me were seeds only, and all those seeds which were hidden inside under the soil, under the earth, they will remain seeds only, latent. Latent is hidden and unborn. So if there is no rain, there can be no greenery, there can be no flowers, there can be no plants, and forever. And this process goes on forever. That means the water cycle continues forever. The rain rises up, takes the shape of vapors, reaches heaven in the skies, take the shape of clouds, and come down again and take the form of rain again. Again, the cycle starts with evaporation once again. Therefore, the cycle is forever, by day and night. So by day and night, whether it's daytime or nighttime, rain gives back life to my own origin. So it says, I give back life to my own origin and make pure and beautify it. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Therefore, the rain says that its cycle goes on for ever and ever, irrespective of the time, irrespective of day and night. So it says that by day and night it provides life, care, enrichment, and water to the place from where it originated. And from which place did it originate? It originated from the earth itself. Therefore it says, I give back life to my own origin, and the origin of the rain is the earth itself. And when it comes down from the sky in the shape of rain, it gives back life to its own origin. It makes it pure and beautifies it. It not only makes the earth pure, but also beautifies it. The rain says it keeps enhancing the beauty and purity of the earth by preparing a life cycle for itself again. Now, this last stanza, which is given in this parenthesis in the brackets, is very, very important, where the poet says that for song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment, wandering wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Wrecked or unwrecked, it means whether cared for or not cared for. It does not affect the rain nor the poet if someone listened to the rain or not. So here in these two lines the poet has compared rain to a song or a poem. He says that the rain is like a song that originates from its birthplace. And what is the birthplace of a song? The song's birthplace is the heart of the singer, or the poem's birthplace is the heart of a poet. And then it travels to fulfill the earth's needs and wonders. It finally comes back to the place from where it originated. Similarly, whether it is ruined or not, it returns to the original position with a lot of love to its birthplace. It says that as when rain rises and comes back to its own origin, similarly a song or a poem also comes back to the heart of the poet, issuing from its birthplace, going from the poet's heart out for its readers to read and enjoy after fulfillment. The fulfillment of a song or a poem is when it reaches the readers, wandering record on unrecord, whether a reader understands it or the reader does not understand it, whether a reader cares for its meanings or does not care for its meaning, it comes back duly with love in the poet's heart. So this is the comparison that the poet has drawn between rain and song. As rain originates from earth, similarly, a song or a poem originates from the heart of a poet. Then it moves upwards in the shape of water vapors and reaches skies and takes the vague shape of clouds. Similarly, the song or the poem of the poet reaches its reader in a different form from which the writer, the poet, has written it. And then, after reaching the skies, the clouds come back again in the form of rain and reaches the earth, its origin. Similarly, the song, after reaching the readers, it comes back to the poet, whether it is popular or not. A poet does not write a poem for making it popular or to give a definite meaning to his words which he wants to be conveyed to his readers. He just sends his poems, his creations to his readers for their appreciation, and it finally comes back to the heart of the poet. A poet never forgets his poem. A poet never forgets his creation. And a poem always stays in the heart of the poet, and the poet once again starts writing a new poem. Once again, the procedure begins. Similarly, the rain's procedure also, when it comes back to the earth in the form of water, in the form of rain, it again starts the water cycle going towards the heaven in the form of vapors. So that is a comparison that the poet has drawn between song and rain. Now let's see some literary devices that the poet has used in the poem. The first device used is personification. Personification, as we read in the introduction of the poem also, that poet has used a non-living thing as a living thing in the poet. For example, I am the poem of earth, said the voice of the rain. As rain cannot speak, but it is speaking to the poet and saying that I am the poem of the earth, therefore rain has been personified. So this is the literary device of personification. The poet has also used a metaphor in the poem. A metaphor is an indirect comparison between the qualities of different things, like I'm the poem of the earth. So this is that comparison has been drawn between rain and poem, which are totally two different things. Here rain is being compared to a poem. So metaphor is also used in the poem. The third device used by the poet is a hyperbole. Hyperbole is exaggerated statements like bottomless sea, which is used in the poem also. Imagery has also been used in the poem, that is a visual description of something like soft falling shower. So when the poet has tried to bring an image in our minds, that is the use of the literary device of imagery. Let's summarize our poem once again. In the poem, the poet asks the soft falling shower, who are you? Who art thou? To which she replies that she is the poem of earth. It is a strange thing for the rain to reply to the poet. The rain told the poet that she cannot be touched, as she is impalpable. It cannot be touched, and she rises in the form of water vapor in the sky from the land and the bottomless seas. It changes its shape, yet it remains the same. The vapor changes into clouds due to condensation. and it falls back on the surface of the earth to provide water to the drought-prone areas and to beautify and purify the earth. That is its birthplace. It provides life to the seeds inside the earth and helps them grow. The rain doesn't care if anyone bothers about her deeds or not. She completes her work and comes back home. The poet also compares the rain to the song as they both share a common journey. What journey? The song originates from the heart of the singer, travels across to fulfill the aim, and comes back with love, due love for the singer. That is its originator. That's the poem. I hope all the doubts are cleared, all the meanings are cleared, and I hope you understood the poem very well.